Yes, everybody, my name is Stephen Howson, and this is 5 things that we learned watching Manchester United beat Derby County in the FA Cup. Ighalo is mint is our first one. Ighalo has quickly become a Manchester United fan favourite. One, because of his enthusiasm, which honestly it goes a long way when a player signs for the club. For them to be so excited, so buzzing about pulling on that shirt, every single one of us is Ighalo, and especially this weekend ahead of the Manchester derby. Who is going to love watching him score more than the Manchester United fans? We are going to lose our shit if he scores because he is one of us. He's one of us living the dream. And not only is he living the dream, he's actually being it as well. He's been absolutely quality for Manchester United. 2 starts, 3 goals, averaging a goal every 87 minutes in a Manchester United shirt, because he's come off the bench quite a few times as well. Ighalo was taken to this Manchester United side, considering he's been out, and considering he's only playing Chinese Super League before, maybe that's like a good career rest that he's had, because he looks energised, he looks refreshed, he looks totally different to the guy that we saw score. I think it was 1 in 18 in his final season for Watford before he went over to China. He's getting into good positions. Rio Ferdinand spoke highly of him last night after the game, and he said he's being that link player. He's being the man that brings other people into a game. He's got a very, very, very underrated first touch, I think. When the ball comes into him, he kills it dead in the middle of the box, usually with 2 or 3 players around him. That's a very, very underrated skill, I think, and something that's much needed for a centre-forward. He's happy with his back to goal. He can turn on a sixpence and get a shot off. I think we've not even been close to seeing the very best out of Ighalo, and I think he's a brilliant focal point of this Manchester United side. I am absolutely loving him playing. I hope he plays more and more and more before the end of the season, because if he does, I am sure we're going to see a real gem for Manchester United. Number 2, another clean sheet. That's 8 clean sheets in the last 10 games now for Manchester United, and the defence seems like it's beginning to click, even with different defensive partnerships. It's sort of not really about who plays in goal, not really about who plays in the defence. Systematically, Manchester United are getting it right. We're limiting people to long distance, long range shots. We're limiting them to the sort of set pieces that we even saw with Everton. Manchester United, I mean, arguably, we should have come away with a clean sheet against Everton, shouldn't we? Manchester United are now starting to have that sort of formidable backline that we always used to pride ourselves on having, regardless of who plays. No Harry Maguire, no problem, clean sheet. Yes, it was only Derby, and yes, it's just that one game, but 8 clean sheets in the last 10 is fantastic. Second most clean sheets in European football. This is no coincidence. This is no accident that Manchester United are able to keep these clean sheets. I think you're starting to see the team really go for it. And it's not because United are playing defensive football. Far from it. Manchester United are creating more chances than we have for a long time. Manchester United are winning matches more than we have for a long time. We're looking good. Partly some of that is down to Sergio Romero. Now, yes, he plays in what's perceived as easier games. We haven't conceded at all this year in the FA Cup. 13 appearances, 10 clean sheets for Sergio Romero this season. And even keeping out 2 brilliant free kicks from Wayne Rooney. Number 3. Luke Shaw was impressive yet again. Luke Shaw seems to be on a pretty decent run of form. I thought he was over-egged a little bit, probably about 3 weeks ago. But the last 2 matches, I think Luke Shaw has been very good. Last night, goal and an assist and man of the match. Can't argue with that. That's a good performance from any footballer. So well done to Luke Shaw from that. Found himself in the box multiple times, which has been a criticism that I've had for him for a long time. He almost seems like he's not allowed to get in there. We haven't really seen him getting in there since when he actually broke his leg. I thought he completely bossed it. I thought he didn't look shaky at the back, apart from that one occasion where he had to make the foul. He looked good and confident with the ball at his feet, and he looked good and confident defensively. It was a good and confident performance from Luke Shaw. Number 4, a trophy is a real prospect. So yes, we are advancing in the competition in the Euros, and I don't think there's any teams out there that Manchester United really certainly need to be afraid of. I think there's teams that could beat us, but I think we could also beat every team that is in that competition. And I think the same goes for the FA Cup. Who in this latter stage is now the quarter-finals can Manchester United look at and say we're afraid of? We've drawn Norwich City. You've got to assume that it's probably going to be Sheffield United. I think they'll beat Arsenal. I think Manchester City get through. There's nobody in there. Chelsea, who cares? In fact, I'd love it if we got Chelsea. Give them another swing at beating us. Manchester United have got to look at the rest of the competition and go, we can beat all of you. Not only can we beat all of you, we're 1 game away from Wembley. That means it's a semi-final time. And we know that Solskjaer has been very good when the games have been that important. And I'd love to see how we can do in a final under Solskjaer, because I have every confidence that we'll get the job done. very real possibility of us getting a trophy, especially the FA Cup, where we are yet to concede. 0-0 and 1-0 versus Wolves, 6-0 versus Tranmere, 3-0 versus Derby. Yes, we've played Wolves, who, let's be honest, have had the beating of Manchester United in recent years, but not this year. We had a pretty easy game against Tranmere, and we made very light work of Derby. Now we've got a Premier League team, and it's a relegation zone Premier League team. But there will be a serious contender that awaits us in the semi-final if we get through Norwich. But it is a semi-final, and you're 90 minutes away from a cup final. I think United have to think that they are in this to win this. And number 5, Ollie's turnaround. You couldn't move for people, even actually up until a couple of weeks ago, saying that Ollie's only got a 27% win ratio as a permanent manager. It's nowhere near that. It's deep into the 40s now because guess what? It changes game by game. And actually, with our form of late, it's been going up. In the last 9 games, 7 clean sheets, we've scored 21 goals. Not seeing a lot of the Ollie out around no more. Not seeing a lot of that negativity around no more, although some people are still trying to find negative things about players who haven't played, or this guy did that and that guy did that. And I don't think some people can enjoy the win because they're so asked about the agendas. If someone's played well, they deserve to be told that they played well. You know, like myself with Luke Shaw, been very critical of the guy when he's deserved it. The last few weeks, he's been getting praise because he deserves it, and it's as simple as that. I think some people want Ollie out more than they would want Manchester United to succeed, and I don't understand that. Does it matter who the manager is as long as he's being successful? It doesn't to me. What we want to see is Manchester United doing well. This form could be the momentum and the driver behind Manchester United being very successful. Everybody remembers that famous 1999 team. Well, we were doing all right up until around Christmas. And it was that comeback against Liverpool in the new year where Manchester United really took it to a new level. We went unbeaten for the remainder of the season in every single competition that we were still in, and we come away with 3 trophies. Now, clearly that's not on the table for Manchester United this season, but we could still end this season with a very successful ending. We could pick up the Europa League, we could pick up an FA Cup, and we could storm into the top 4 in the league. And I think from where we've been recently, and even where we've been this season, every single Manchester United fan would have to recognise the achievement of what that would be and really get some momentum going into the next season. We saw a false dawn under Louis van Gaal. We saw a false dawn under Jose Mourinho. Solskjaer seems to be building something that is organic, that is true, and that is ready for the long term. If he achieves even half of that success that we've just listed, then he is the man to lead us to the next stage. And I don't know if he's the man that can lead us to league title. I don't know if he's a man that could lead us to multiple league titles. I suspect probably not. But he will leave this club in a better position than when he found it. And that needs some praise. And it needs your support. So fucking get behind him, get behind the lads, and let's see where this season can end up. Right then, you might have seen on social media and probably some of the other videos, the Stretford Paddock FC kit has started to arrive. If you fancy one of those, the link will be in the description for those. Really high quality football shirts, nothing that's just off the shelf that you can go and grab. These are absolutely belting. If you want one of these, this is your new non-league football team that you can come and support. We are applying to join a local non-league and hoping to enter the football pyramid. The next video is going to be out hopefully tomorrow, maybe early next week if we don't get it done in time. But come and follow the journey about what we're doing on Stretford Paddock. You can even come and join the team if you live in Manchester as well. There's a couple of open training sessions before we have our first 11v11, and then we're going to be starting playing friendlies, all of which you guys can follow the journey of on YouTube. But if you'd like to help support us, then we have got kits for sale, and they are in the link in the description. There's also some training stuff and also jackets and things like that as well if you're into all that sort of stuff. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.